Are you ready to discover a project future that will transform your workflow? Join us in this detailed tutorial from our expert trainer who walks you through each step. Let's get started.
We're going to export our data from project. Now, we're primarily concerned with exporting data so it can be used in another application. However, we are going to start with exporting data so it can't be changed, such as exporting it as an image file. And we're going to start with copy and paste. Now, the outcome of this method really depends on what you're pasting your data into. So we're going to start with a Word document. So we're going to start with version 20 of the Northern Farm Foods website, and we're just simply going to grab a section of tasks from here and copy and paste them into Word and see how they look. So let's select from requirements all the way down to the end of testing. Control C to copy. Let's open up Word and Control V to paste. Now check out what's happened here. It's done a reasonably decent job. We still have the structure. We can even see which ones are summary tasks, which ones are subtasks. We've got the headings in there, and we can see our resource names. And of course, we could spend some time in Word making this look even better. We can adjust the column widths, we can adjust the font and the formatting, but in general, the structure comes across pretty well. Now we're going to try and do the same thing, but this time we're going to paste it into Notepad. Now we get an entirely different result when we paste into Notepad. It's a lot harder for us to see the structure. We don't have any formatting to help us out, and the columns look like they're all a bit jumbled around. Now this structure is actually fine if you want to use this as like an intermediary to import into another system. We could save this as a CSV or a text file, and then upload that into another system, and all of the data would be nicely in columns. Because this data that you see here isn't as unstructured as it looks. We actually have a tab character that separates every single column item. And because the column items are of different lengths, that's why we get this sort of higgledy-piggledy look to our data. So it is possible to paste into Notepad and then use this file to upload into other systems. Let's close this down. Let's go back to Word and let's Control Z to undo. So I still have my information being held on the clipboard, ready to paste. So let's take a look at some other paste options that we have. So the first one here is we can choose to keep the source formatting. So that is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's going to bring across with it the formatting and the structure. The next one is merge formatting, which means it's going to change the formatting to match the formatting, styles, font that you have set in your Word document. The next option is merge formatting, and that means it's going to take on the formatting, the styles that are currently in use in your Word document. The next one is it's going to paste it as a picture, and you can see there it brings across the Gantt chart. And then finally we have keep text only, which looks a lot like when we paste into Notepad. So let's take a look at what we have in paste special. So I could say paste link, and let's just say unformatted text and click on OK. Now again, this looks a little bit all over the place at the moment, but what you've actually done here is you've created a link to the source file. So if anything updates in the project file, then it's going to automatically pull through to the Word document. So to demonstrate this, if you take a look at the first couple of lines at the top here, where we have requirements definition, you can see that that's set to 65 days. Let's jump back to our project file, and where we have requirements definition, let's change that to 75 days. Click on OK. Now when we go back to the document, you can see that it hasn't automatically updated. Sometimes it will, but what you can do is right click and simply choose update link, and you can see everything updates, and that now changes to 75 days. So that's a great method if you want to keep what you have in your Word document in step with what's actually going on in the project file. Now let's Control Z a couple of times to remove that, because one option that we just briefly hovered over was this one just here. Now, when we click this, this is going to paste the selected tasks as a picture. So this means that this is non-editable, but it also means that we get to see not only the task, but also the bars, the timeline that relates to these tasks. Now it's a bit hard to see in this particular format, but what we could do is just change the layout and switch the orientation to landscape. And then we can drag this out like a regular picture to make it a little bit larger. So sometimes this is a really nice option as well, particularly if you just want to show somebody a section of a project, and the bars that relate to those tasks. Now, the final couple of options when it comes to exporting data that I want to mention, you're going to find underneath the File tab. So if we click on File, notice that we do have an export option just here. So from here, we can actually export out to a PDF or an XPS file. Now, an XPS file is basically the same as a PDF, it's just Microsoft's version. Or we can choose to save the project as a different file type. So we've got different project files in here. We have the project template files. We can save as an Excel workbook, XML format, or a completely other file format. So if I choose save as another file type and save as, this is going to allow me to save this project as something completely different, and I can basically choose the file type from the drop down just here. So maybe I want to save this as a CSV file because I then want to upload it into a different system. And a CSV file is perfect for those kinds of things. Quite often, if you're using a third-party system, if you need to upload data, you'll be asked to upload it in a CSV format. So let's click on Save. Now, sometimes, depending on how you have your Trust Center settings set, you might get a warning message there. And if you do, you just need to check your Trust Center settings to make sure that you're allowing legacy file formats. Now, once you've managed to save this, it's then going to open up the export wizard. We can click on Next, and we can go through and we can export our data. So I'm going to use a new map. Let's click on Next. We're going to export the tasks only. I want to include the headers, and then I can choose the text delimiter. Now, you can choose whatever delimiter you like, and a delimiter is basically how it's going to separate the columns. So I'm going to have mine separated with a comma, but you could separate them with a tab or a space. Let's click on Next, and now we can map our fields. So I'm just going to choose name from here. We'll have start and also finish. Let's click on Next. I'm not going to save the map. Let's click on Finish, and we should now have that file saved to File Explorer. And you can see there it is just there. Let's double click to open it. And there we go. By default, it's opened in Excel, and I have those columns of data. So those are a few of the options that you have when exporting data out from project and into other applications.
Don't let your momentum stop here. Check out our recommended playlist for more helpful videos to boost your skills. Visit the Simon Says It channel, explore our videos and training sessions, and decide what you want to learn next.